It's the National Football League on EA Sports. Up next, we'll get a look at Patrick Mahomes. He's gone over 4,000 yards passing now for the year. It's the Chiefs and the Raiders, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders. And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. Leading them out, their young quarterback, the rookie from LSU.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
He'll wind up getting a yard on the game's first play at 2nd down. You see the numbers in last week's game for Warren. 15 carries, 55 yards.
They've lost a bunch of games in a row now. They've got to start thinking a little bit differently, maybe a little bit outside of the box. Find other ways to move the football. I don't know if you're going to do it through the air or maybe change up how you establish your run game.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. Back to throw. Moran working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you use the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
From the 44 now, here's 2nd and 4. Looking to throw. Moran. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Now inside the 25. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a big defensive play there on the opening drive, no less, as they make the interception and bring it back for the score.
And I think that's a signal for how this defense wants to play. They want to be disruptive, and you know they're going to take some chances.
Well, sometimes it can burn you, but right there, it paid off. Harrison Butker is on for the extra point. And his kick is good to make it 7-0 KC. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick six. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Raiders offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. As we take a look at the league leaders in receiving touchdowns, he is right up there amongst the best in the NFL. The Raider offense set to get this drive started as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Back to throw. Moran. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Give him 32 on the play. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 43. Operating from the gun, Moran. That's going to be caught. It's Jakobi Meyers. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Well, the jet sweep. This is Godwin.
Oh, and this one may need to go back to the drawing board. He's going to be swallowed up right away.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Second and 12 at the 33-yard line.
Looking to throw. Moran looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Bowers. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. They got to get to the 20 to keep the drive alive on 3rd down. Back to throw. Moran. Buying time to his left. And he can't find anywhere to go with it. And he goes down.
George Karlaftis.
Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. 4th down, and on comes the Raider kicker, Daniel Carlson. On the left hash, this from 48 yards. Carlson able to put this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here's the Chiefs offense for their first possession, and it's Patrick Mahomes at quarterback.
His game last week reminded me of the old song, Accentuate the Positive, because that's about all he did, right?
Yeah.
3 touchdown passes, over 300 yards in the air. Receivers happy.
And they got the win.
Got the win. If you're a running back that likes to catch passes, they're happy as well. Big-time game.
Mahomes going to throw. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Mahomes now to throw.
That's caught. It's Xavier Worthy.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
On 1st and 10, here's Pacheco. And this one not going anywhere. They get him at the 44 for a gain of just a yard. The numbers on the ground for Pacheco last week,
pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
That's complete. It's Travis Kelce.
So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
From the gun on 3rd down, Mahomes.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 38-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Really a solid start here on the opening drive, Charles. He's now 4 of 4, and they're already in plus territory.
Brandon, he's been so precise to start this game. Like we're watching an operation taking place right now. Master surgeon at work.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
The Chiefs at 9-5 now on the year. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco.
He's going to be a yard short. Needed 2, but only got 1. 4th down.
Well, they picked up a portion of it, but not all that they needed. Now that leads to a decision on 4th and 1. Let's see what they decide to do.
Well, they'll say no to the 46-yard field goal try. They're going to go for it.
They'll run for it with Pacheco.
And they are going to stop him on 4th and 1 as they'll wind up going backwards.
Offside. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call.
Automatic
mark off the
first down.
5 and keep it moving.
A lack of discipline defensively on 4th down, and now that leads to a 1st and 10. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Now they'll throw with Mahomes. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
2nd down and 3. Here's Knight on the handoff.
7 yards there and a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Pacheco gets it up the gut.
And he'll find his way down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. To throw, it's Mahomes. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4.
Here's 3rd and 3.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Yeah, quick throw here, that's complete. So nothing doing there. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we joked on his 1,099 catch that 1099 reminded us of our taxes. This one's not as funny. He has 1,100 catches. He is legit.
Well, he's also in a different tax bracket than we are because of those 1,100 catches. He has earned it, hasn't he?
Indeed. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive.
And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Second quarter from Vegas. The homestanding Raiders with a football here. From the 35, here's 2nd down and 3. Now run straight ahead with Warren.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down.
And that's a nice pickup of a 1st down on that 2nd down run. And at that yardage gain, they can run that plan any down.
They'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle. And he's across the 45. It'll be 2nd down. 2nd and 7.
A 3-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 7.
Looking to throw. Moran.
That's complete to Tony.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On the give, it's Warren.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Good yardage there on 1st down. Exactly what you want. Get yourself set up to keep making 1st downs, keep the clock running. And if they're smart, you're starting to milk the...
Now White lost the football.
Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Running left, it's Warren. And able to get this to the 31.
Now to run that you're going to write home about, but still a good first down run. That's what an offense calls staying on schedule. 3 to 4 yards on first down, you're set up very well for the rest of the drive.
A handoff for Warren. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries.
But they're getting ready to go to work now in prime real estate after that last run. Found his spot and picked up nice yardage, didn't he?
And now he's got him knocking on the door of the red zone. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
He'll get the tight end Bowers involved there.
So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
That is caught. And the Raiders are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
Well, they've had a great, impressive drive going here, and that pickup ensures the drive continues.
And not only do you continue the drive, which is demoralizing for the guys on the defensive side of the ball right now, but you make your own defense happy. They're able to get a little more rest over on the sidelines while this one continues downfield.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
The 2-yard line.
And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
Well, that's going to bring up a big call now because he is unable to make the play himself on 2nd down. Now you just have to wonder, will they keep the ball in his hands on 3rd down?
That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete.
Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. And I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board.
Even back, Isaiah Pacheco getting set for this next possession. And he's been a huge factor. He'll drop this off to Pacheco.
And a 5-yard gain.
It's straight. It's Pacheco.
And now a fumble. The ball's out. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
Even though he recovered his own fumble, you know how much he hates to put the ball on the ground. He's going to be frustrated with himself.
And what do you think the time frame was from the time the ball escaped his grasp to him getting it back? It didn't take that long, right?
Right.
To him, it probably felt like hours because he's agonizing, like, I've got to get this football back. Able to get it done.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Now Mahomes.
Got a man over the middle, Worthy.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They're able to convert with a gain of 4. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
From the gun, it's Mahomes.
Open man is the tight end, Noah Gray.
And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the carry, here's Knight.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now here's Mahomes. Being chased, Evelyn. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. So on 4th down, Mahomes off, Harrison Butker on for the Chiefs field goal. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Butker's kick here is good. And that'll open the lead up to a touchdown now at 13-6.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
That's caught by Tucker.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. And this pass broken up. Well, the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Good, clean play. No flags coming out of the pocket of the officials. Turns into an incompletion, and that should get him off the field with a 3 and out.
He punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback.
And the Chiefs offense ready to go again. And not an abundance of time remains on the clock, Charles, but you would think more than enough to try to extend this lead before intermission.
And when you're talking about extending the lead, I think you're talking about aiming for the end zone because there is plenty of time for that. The fallback is to get 3. But in your mind, you put 6 on the board right before the half. That's a heck of a dagger and great momentum to carry into the locker room.
Looking to throw is Mahomes. And he rifles one incomplete.
This defense has passed its first 2 tests by forcing back-to-back incompletions. They know there's probably another throw coming on 3rd down. Let's see if they decide to force the issue by sending people on a blitz.
And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. Here's the Chiefs punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. It's just a 30-yard punt that time, no return.
And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. As we eke closer and closer to intermission, Charles, remember last time out they punted. They would love to get points here, especially if this is going to be their final possession of the first half.
Yeah, and this is what close games feel like because the pressure is on both sides, but sometimes the pressure is a little bit higher on the team with the slight edge because they're trying to hold on to that, trying to increase it. Let's see how this one continues.
Yeah, that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
Call it a gain of 5. Fourth down now.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Chiefs on top. As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. More from you and Charles in a bit. But first, time for a look around the NFL to see what's going on here in the late window. We'll begin up at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, where you see the final score there. Dak Prescott leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head down to Tennessee to check on the Titans at home in Nashville. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud, excellent in the W, as his guys get victory number 12 on the year. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And they were winners in that ball game over the visiting New Orleans Saints. Mike Evans leading the way with 3 touchdown catches. This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
Ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football.
And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Chiefs offense and Patrick Mahomes headed back onto the field. And as you see on the graphic, he's right up there with the best in the league when it comes to throwing touchdowns. Currently second in the NFL at this point of the season. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Throwing now is Mahomes. They'll check this one down to Pacheco. I call it no gain there on the first down play. Here's 2nd and 10.
Shotgun snap to Mahomes. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Shedding the tackler, and it gives him some room.
He may go.
And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on there.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Now the Vegas offense heading back out there. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. They make their second half debut here, and things are looking a little bit tougher now. You give up the points there, Charles, that touchdown drive on the other side. So now it's a two-score game here. Got to be careful.
They certainly do, and I'm just wondering at halftime if those guys just looked into each other's eyes and realize what they've got to get done and come out a little bit more charged up, because if they don't get some kind of points here, that next drive, that could make this a three-possession game.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
On the run, it's Warren.
Ooh, with a juke. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49.
56 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Looking for Godwin, and he's got him complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. That reception, it brings him up to the 700 plateau. He's at 700 career NFL catches now.
And that club in baseball, a rather exclusive club, and one we talk about all the time. In football, puts you in the top 50 all-time range. Not so bad either.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
That's to the left side where he's got Bowers.
And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. That's back-to-back plays of over 20 yards. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Back to throw. Moran. And he's going to go down. This will count as a sack, a very short sack, taken down at the 2.
Not the first and goal play they drew up. Multiple defenders in to bring him down to the ground. Warren is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders.
Jakobi Meyers from 4 yards out. And the Raiders are back within a score.
So a nice touchdown pass for the rookie there. And, you know, as they go down the stretch, look, they're not a playoff team. This is just confidence building and growth time for him, right?
Yeah, it's a game within the game, isn't it? Because every team wants to win all games on their schedule. But the development of this rookie quarterback is paramount for this team. So you're exactly right. Every rep, doesn't matter what the game, what the situation, what the score, valuable for him, valuable for his team as they look towards next year.
This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away.
And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Chiefs offense set to go. Still enjoying the lead here in the third quarter despite their defense giving up that last touchdown. Now they'll see if they can get the equalizer here on this drive.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive.
That's into the hands of Worthy.
And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
So from the 37, here's second and a yard.
Mahomes going to throw.
That's into the hands of Worthy once again.
7 yards on the quick slant and a first down. Mahomes now to throw. Pitch and catch here to Travis Kelce. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. An 11-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Chiefs first down.
A run with Knight.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11. Working from the gun, Mahomes. Going right side here, and that's complete. He has a first down, and that catch will also put him over 100 yards receiving now on the afternoon. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
16 yards, a little deja vu from the previous play where they got 16.
Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. On the handoff, it's Pacheco.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4.
49 yards on the ground for him now on 9 carries.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive. Because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense is getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he takes this into the end zone for a Chiefs touchdown. Patrick Mahomes taking it in from 4 yards out.
And the Chiefs have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
Circle that drive because that might be one to remember. Well executed to give them a little cushion.
Well, let's take it into the boxing ring. You talk about them commanding it, keeping the fight where they wanted to, whether it was in the center of the ring or putting them on the ropes because it was jab, jab, jab. And finally, the haymaker to put that drive away.
Here's the Chiefs kickoff unit now as they'll send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. Right now, Charles, it just feels like they're trying to keep pace. They did score the touchdown last time out, but they still trail by double digits here. We'll see if this offense is once again up to the task.
Yeah, and I think that after the last drive, they got them pretty revved up, don't you think? Everything they were doing was working pretty well. They go back out there with the same mindset, play at the same tempo, at the same pace. Still a lot of time left to make something happen in this one.
2nd and 1. That is caught. It's Chris Godwin. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders.
Chris Godwin.
64 yards.
And the Raiders have got it back to within a score.
As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy 2-play drive that time.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34. The visitors' offense and their quarterback headed out for this next possession. And he's been a nightmare to scheme against throughout this one. This defense has been totally taken apart, and that is borne out in his numbers. He's been terrific all game long. They'll start the drive here with Pacheco. Takes it to about the 37.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Mahomes.
A throw right side taken in by the tight end Gray.
And he'll go out of bounds. It appears right at the 45.
First down, Kansas City.
To throw, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes. But the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
This is Knight.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
In my book, that's running the ball well but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you. And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Here's Mahomes to throw. Short throw hauled in by Kelsey. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And it'll be second down.
A handoff now for Pacheco.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're staring at a 3rd and 8. That last play backwards a yard. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 25-yard line. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. It's the Chiefs with the lead and the football here as we get set for quarter number 4. Slot man moves right. Back to throw now on first down. Throw left side complete. That's Rice. And down inside the 15 he goes.
And the officials here going to pause the game for a second. Looks like there's an injured Chief on the field. Well, always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on second down. Again, they'll throw with Mahomes. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. Now Mahomes. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Brandon Smith with a nice rush to get him down.
So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. Butker's kick here is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that's, CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
The Raiders offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. Moran. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
We're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first.
On third down, he'll drop to throw.
Over the middle, that's hauled in by Tony. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to the 30. Only able to gain a couple there. And that's going to make it 4th down. Here's A.J. Cole now as he's on to punt for Las Vegas. Fielded at the 20. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. KC's offense ready to take over. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they got a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. They'll come to the line needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Mahomes to throw once more. That is caught. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 32-yard line. A 3rd down conversion with a strong gain of 14. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a run with Pacheco. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 16. Now Mahomes on the bootleg. Forced out to his left. And he can't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. Pacheco. Oh, he's going absolutely nowhere as he is hit behind the line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
Did your high school have that same push them back cheer?
I was a kicker.
Well, it certainly worked. Didn't matter whether we were kickers or not. That one worked, didn't it? They pushed him back at his last snap of the ball, and boy, they created a nice play for themselves. Would they lose 3 on that one?
Yeah, from the 1 back to the 4. That's to the pylon and incomplete.
Quarterbacking 101. Never force the ball into double coverage, especially not this close to the goal line. The windows are so tight, you just don't want to force it in there because it could be tipped up and picked off.
This is caught. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Able to hold him to just 2 yards, and now it's 4th and goal.
I don't care what the analytics say. Look at where they are on the field. To me, that just screams go for it here. I don't even think about putting a kicker out there. What say you?
I support whatever they do. Let's find out.
Look at you, man of the people.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Raiders offense and veteran Chris Godwin getting set for this next drive. And he's had some kind of game. They made it a point to get him involved early, and it has paid giant rewards to this stage of the game. That'll be caught. It's Tony.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 24 yards.
First and 10 at the 47-yard line.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Left side here, that's complete to Godwin. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
From the 38 now, here's second down and 1. They'll run it. Warren.
And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Back to throw. Moran.
That's into the hands of his tight end, Bowers.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown.
Brock Bowers.
35 yards.
And the Raiders have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth.
For a big tight end, he can sure move like a slot receiver when he gets a head of steam going. And as a defensive back, you've got a big decision to make when he's moving like that.
Carlson on for the PAT. And the lead will shrink to 6. A drive there of just 4 plays.
And it ends with a Las Vegas touchdown.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The visitors' offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. And this defense might be about ready to wave the white flag. Nothing they have tried to throw at him has been that successful. He just processes things so quickly and makes a right read seemingly every time.
In motion, the tight end, Kelsey. Now here's Mahomes. Over the middle, that's caught by Rice. He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Second down and a yard. They try with Pacheco.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco.
And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game.
So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They're looking at a 4th down now as they try to hold on to this lead for dear life. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. So the Raiders now down by 6. A minute 55 remaining. A 4th straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down. Back to throw.
That's going to be caught by Tony.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. A short throw, and that's hauled in by Mayer. And he is going to get out of bounds with the first down. So that's going to double their pleasure for sure. They get the first and save a timeout.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. He'll look to throw. That's complete to his receiver, Godwin. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And he is in as they have tied it late here in the final minute of the fourth quarter. Now they can boot it through on the always important extra point, and then their defense has to hold up their end of the bargain.
And there's something that you've pointed out in numerous games that we've worked. Okay, the excitement's going on. Everyone's celebrating over there. Who's calling up the defense to make sure they're focused because they still have some work to do?
Carlson down to add the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it's capped off by the touchdown and the ever-critical extra point. So it is a 1-point lead here in the final minute of action.
On is the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away.
And able to get this out to the 25.
And out come the Chiefs now. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here.
A little less than 40 seconds remaining. Here comes 2nd and 10. Mahomes
steps away to his, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Chiefs will use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Here's Mahomes. Got a man over the middle, Worthy. And he'll get a fair amount of yardage back, but now it's 4th down.
Now Mahomes got to have this one. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And now we'll get a timeout here. They're able to stop it with 1 second to go in this game. And they'll indeed take a knee.
Well, somebody lit a fire under that offense during the break, Charles. Remember, they trailed at intermission. They come out, they have the big second half, and that lifts them to the victory.
And Brandon, trailing at halftime, we always talk about teams making adjustments. You know what the best adjustments usually are? It's just executing better. Because the game plan you put in place at the beginning of the week often still holds. You don't have to make wholesale changes. You just have to do it a little bit better, a little cleaner. And they did that in the second half, and that led them to victory.
So for the Raiders, it's a good 5th win for them as they play out the string. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Philadelphia Eagles. Meanwhile, for Kansas City, it's a tough blow to their playoff aspirations as they drop to 9-6. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.